Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece Chapter 708 review. That is 7. That is. Oh, here it goes. 8 review. So, listen, man. This week's chapter, One Piece, man. Oh, my. The hype. The fucking, like, yo, Shinjao, like, well, listen, I was completely wrong. In the last One Piece, One Piece chapter review that I did, I said that I believe that this guy's a speed guy. He's not a speed guy, because sometimes in One Piece, Ichiro Oda will make like the biggest dudes ever, and they'll be like super fast. Like, come. But listen, man. No. This dude, and this is crazy. Like, this is insane. Because the legend behind this dude, I'm like, what? Like, get the fuck out. You think Alyssa Paolo's legends fucking, like, oh, like, this guy, he can destroy a freaking fortress with, like, one punch. I mean, now, it's questionable as to whether or not that punch was in like direct contact, like actually touching, or whether or not that was like an air punch. And then the air punch, the shockwave from that punch, made a freaking huge wall to the fortress. Now that's a pretty impressive legend. If it's actually distance in air, and if the fortress is made out of steel, or layers of steel, or yada yada, and so on and so forth. But that doesn't matter. That's nothing compared to this guy. It's like, what the? Quote. Where's the quote, man? Where's the quote? Here we go, man. So the legend really must be true. He really did split an Arctic continent in two with merely a headbutt. Yo, man. How powerful were these dudes in their prime? Like, Whitebeard had, he had planetary hype. Whitebeard had planetary hype. Goldie Rock, the ability to hear all things. And this guy, who was weaker than Garp beat his ass back in the day. He beat his ass. And this dude, his headbutts can apparently split continents. Yeah. And like the thing about it is that like he's nowhere even close to his prime. And he's calling Luffy a greenhorn. Like in one of the translations, he said that Luffy needed much more training. He needed much more training. Listen, that's what I'm telling you. There has to be another flash. There has to be another time skip because Luffy, he can't. You think Luffy's gonna be able to split continents? Listen, he has to be stronger than Goldie Roger. Garp is not as strong as Goldie Roger. Garp beat this guy, and this guy can split continents in half with headbutts. Hello? So far, when it comes to DC, when it comes to overall power, like the best we've seen is a sick old Whitebeard, who of course is tilting oceans and shit, and his area of effect is like nigh planetary because there were people from other oceans feeling the shit. Enel's destroying entire islands with his Rigel. Where's Enel, man? I know in the One Piece side story, there was a big ass explosion on the moon, and that could have been caused by Enel. So, but come on, man! Like splitting continent, like the legend of truth, like the legend. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that to me was like, But then what was even like, but that was awesome. But the chapter got even better when we had Bellamy take out Abdullah and Jet. Which, like, it was a night, like, he stabbed their foot. They yelled. He literally took his two hands and he jammed them in their throats. And then he did the Bane Bane no Mi springboarded, and then he literally just snapped their jaws open and blood. I was like, Oda. Because Oda doesn't, he said before that he doesn't like drawing a lot of gore and blood which is unfortunate. Which is why one reason as to why there's barely any death in the story, because Oda doesn't like to draw Toshiba. Okay. Oh, he doesn't like to draw a lot of blood and gore. But that was very impressive for Oda to actually do something of that nature. Where, because he stabbed their foots, bane, hand, spring over, break their jaws, blood. I was like, whoa. But then it got even better. Bartolo, listen, man. This guy's rocking barriers. He's rocking barriers, man. This guy is big. If you want to say it's hockey, then maybe. Because I believe hockey, when it comes to Busou Shoku, like, I believe that they can also protrude from outside their bodies. Because normally, when it comes to the basic foundation of arm and hockey, it goes around your actual body as, like, you know, an aura. Well, what if you can, like, extend that aura even further out? You feel me? Like, kind of like an orb, like a barrier that's invisible, that protects you. If you can do that, because, again, Luffy has a long way to go. Hockey-wise, dog food-wise, and so on and so forth. So him doing the black hand thing is probably not even, you know, that impressive from an overall New World standpoint. I mean, Virgo. Oh. Damn, man. Full body arm and hockey. Oh, man, my nipples got hard, man. Damn. But no, listen though. The thing about that is that even that might not be actually great from a New World standpoint. So it could be Busou Shoku Haki that Bartolomeo did. He could have extended the aura where it actually surrounds him in like a certain radius. But I'm thinking it's barriers. Like, I really think he did a barrier. I think he has a Delphi ability where he created an invisible barrier, and then when this, you know, Fisherman Karate guy, what was his name? Hack, when he did his, you know, 4,000 bricks Satan broke. I mean, forget about broke. He was done. He was done, bro. Punch done. He was done. He was done. He was done. It was like, oh, and like again, even for Oda, like the way his fingers like bent this way and that way, and like we don't see a close up of it, but we see like the actual silhouette of the arm. Like there's blood on the actual ground. His fingers are bent in and out, and it looks distorted. I'm like, goddamn, Bartolomeo, no. And this dude's just chilling, taking a leak in front of everybody, like none of his business. Like, yeah, I'm taking a piss. What now? What now? What now? Yeah. Oh, and Cavendish. Hello. Surprise, surprise. Someone is not that bad at all. I thought that he was fodder. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he was fodder. But he actually blocked a headbutt, like a full-on headbutt from Shinjao. And apparently he has a Meito, or like a famous sword, a named sword. I mean, I think that the Meitos only apply to katana, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not too sure. Either way, he has a famed sword, and I believe it's called the Darndal. The Durandale or the Darndal, whichever one it was. I forgot what it was. I think it's Durandale. I think so, but it's not. From memory, it's not a katana. It's like a fencing sword, or like a bigger, or it's a cutlass, like a thin cutlass, or maybe it could be a katana, because we didn't get a good picture of it, to be honest. But either way, he did like a strike called the Bluebird, and he was able to counter. He was able to counter a Shinjao headbutt. Now, again, granted, this guy, he's not in his prime, so he's not rocking continent level shit. But still, it's like you don't drop that much. Well, actually, maybe you do. Well, I mean, as far as I know, he's not sick. I mean, he's old, but he's not sick. I mean, he's older. He appears to be around the same age as Garb and Whitebeard and Sengoku. But you know, and you know, Zephyr. But you know, he's not sick. He's still Like, Zephyr was sick, and he's pretty badass. White Beard was fucking... Oh, God. The sickness wouldn't stop with this guy. But... I'm pretty sure he's still doing massive damage. Massive damage with those headbutts. Oh, like, this guy's he's a super threat. Like... Fujitora, he's an admiral, and, you know, like, he's there, and he's a threat. But this guy's a massive threat. Yes, he's an old dude, but he's a massive threat. He's a massive threat. I mean, I haven't seen... We don't know what Fujitora can do ability-wise. But, no. Shinjao, he's more of a threat. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, he's going to fight Luffy in the next round. True. But... Oh, dude, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, yeah, and apparently his grandsons are from the actual Flower Country. The, Kanokuni. And, yeah, the Kanokuni. So... And apparently, like, the guys that we saw before talking to Luffy, before Block B started, no, like, before Block A started, those guys are going to partake in, you know, Block C alongside with Luffy. So, Luffy's going to, yeah, man, like, people don't mean, a majority of people that are in this competition, they don't know that Luffy is Luffy. Like, they know him as Lucy. But, in order to fight Don, you know, Shinjao, he's going to have to go all out. At least partially. Come on. Oda. I've been waiting for Luffy to go all out. I've been waiting. I've been fucking waiting. Same thing with Zoro. Same thing with Sanji. And Frankie too. And Brook. Mainly more Brook than Frankie. Frankie, I think, when he goes all out, without the Frankie Shogun, you know, hopefully he'll pull off some dirty shit. But, like Sanji, Zoro, Luffy have to go all out in a fight. In this arc. Please. Hopefully. Please. Please. And Law too, because Law technically was not at full power because he didn't have his heart throughout the entire course of Punk Hazard. And then when he got his heart, well, we saw that his room, mountain range cut, you know, casually. So, but I'll leave it at that for now, to be honest, because I mean, I can go more in depth about, you know, but like, you know what, fuck it, let me go more in depth, right? Let me go more in depth, right? The thing about it is that it shows you just how far, it shows you how powerful these guys were at like a base norm back in the day, where headbutting continents and shit. And the fact of the matter remains is that Goldie Roger was above all of them. Alright, he was above, I mean, yeah, you know, Garp would chase Goldie Roger down, but Goldie Roger is the strongest man at the time, right? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And the thing about this is that because Ichiro Oda, let's be honest here, right? His overall story pacing is slow, and because of that reason, it's gonna take a considerable amount of time for him to develop Luffy from a power standpoint to that same level of power as Shinjao. Even more time to go even more powerful than that. So that's why I'm very adamant about him doing several time skips, because to me that's the way I see things to be. That's the way it has to be, because otherwise Luffy just won't be, you know, he won't be there. He won't be there at that level where he should be. Oh yeah, and one last thing before I go. I got a PM, because again, Oda said in an interview that this arc was gonna somehow encompass a new species and the moon, which of course means NL, or at least one of the moons, and hopefully that moon is NL. Hopefully that moon is NL. Now I got a PM from Mr. Popo, and of course Mr. Popo is probably bored as shit as Kami's Lookout, so that's why he PM my ass, the King of Lightning. You know, black for life. Now that being said, that being said, he said that in this arc, there's a lot of fairy talk, and unfortunately, because there's a particular series. That being said, there's a lot of fairy talk in this arc, and NL, his dream, his goal was to reach this place called Fairyverse. Fairyverse. So initially, I'm thinking, well, that's the moon because he went to the moon. So maybe it's not the moon. Maybe it's someplace else. Or maybe these fairies came from the moon. These quote-unquote fairies came from the moon. And thus, maybe these fairies are in fact the robots that NL awoken on the moon. And for some reason they came down to the moon. For maybe like supplies and shit like that. And then they wound up in Dressrosa. Maybe. Maybe. I'm speculating, but maybe. But I'm done. The chaptering overall is going to be a good plus. It's a good plus chapter, One Piece. It's a good plus. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day. And give me your thoughts on Don Chin. Give me your thoughts on Chin Yao. Love this dude so far. Love his ass. Ah. The legends are true. The legends are true.